Hello, hello, and welcome to Show Up, Stand Out online visibility series for entrepreneurs. My name is Juliet Stapleton. I'm a visibility strategist, and today I would like to introduce you to Lisa Marie Pepe, the confidence coach and online visibility expert for heart-centered women entrepreneurs. Hi, Lisa Marie.
Hi, how are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking forward, now we're in the same space, so I'm looking forward to see what you're doing differently maybe, or where we have things that we're both preaching online, and how is it all working out for both of us. So
Hey.
yeah, so let me just ask you before I move on, what does the word visibility for you personally, what does it mean?
Yeah, it's a great question. For me, it means fully embodying who you are as an individual and then showcasing that to your audience or to the world at large, right? Depending on what your goals are. So it's just fully like owning, right? Like everything about yourself that you love, the things that you're able to produce or create or bring into the world, and showing up and showing that to people, right? Because how would they know if you don't share it with them?
That's right. How does it make you feel?
Incredible. I mean, I've always been an extrovert, but I haven't always been this confident, right? So there's a big difference, right? I was an extrovert, but I wasn't always confident. And that showed, but then as I worked through my own stuff and I realized that I had this gift to speak and I had this gift to share, the motivation and inspiration that I can create into the world, it makes me feel really good. It does. At the end of the day, I feel like, well, hopefully, somebody's day was, brightened by something they saw that I created and put out there.
That's brilliant. I totally share this. It's about just inspiring one person to do something small even, but something that it just causes the growth or success in their business or something else, because all the small things add up, right? So what you're saying to me, that confidence is not a natural trait, even if you're an extrovert.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because even extroverts, right? Like we go through life. We go through the same struggles and difficulties and periods of, feeling lost or hopeless at times. And yeah, I mean, you're not confident automatically, right? Just because you enjoy being around other people and you kind of drive your energy from other people. So for me, it's been a very humbling journey to get to where I am. And it's what drives me every day to want to help other women to really just, again, embody who they are and feel good about that and feel confident in their own skin, essentially.
So how did you come to be the online visibility expert and a confidence coach? What was your journey?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. Well, first off, I definitely did not ever foresee myself being an entrepreneur at all in all of the years I was in school and all of the years that I was in college and graduate school. I never once thought, oh, well, I'm not really going to go and get a job. I'm just going to create a job. But what happened for me was, very briefly, but back in 2011, I had a car accident and I injured my neck and my shoulder. And at the time, I was a massage therapist and I had opened a private practice, and I lost all of that as a result of the injuries. And I spent a couple of years after that, even though I had been well educated, even though I had been a perpetual student my whole life, I still felt very lost. And it was this sort of like dark era, right? Like where I just didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I fit into the world. And I wound up taking these really lousy jobs, that were like well below my pay grade or my skill set. I mean, just really, really crappy jobs. And I stayed there for a couple of years. So I was completely, the opposite of confident, right? And I stress that because I never want people to think that what they see right now is the way I've always been, right? Like, oh, no problems, nothing. No, like I've been to hell and back. Like I know what it feels like to be in, the valley, of the shadow of death there, right? I mean, that's essentially how I felt for a couple of years. And so I kind of woke up, right? And I had this sort of divine intervention where this woman that I had known, she really essentially just called me out on it one day. And she said to me, why are you wasting your life? And I thought to myself, wow, like, who is this woman and what is she saying, right? But I knew at that time, this was all after the accident. It was about almost 3 years after the accident. And I was working at a gym, and it's not as glorious as it sounds, right? I was in the bathroom and I was cleaning up the bathroom at the end of the night because that's what I had to do as part of my work duties. And this patron I knew really well, she just came in and we started a casual conversation like any other night, but then it went really deep. It became like, by the way, what are you doing with your life? Why are you working here? Why are you wasting your talent? And that was the moment where, and I explained this to people, it was like my soul woke up, right? Because it was always there, right? But after the accident, I fell so far into this depression and this state of anxiety that I didn't value who I was. I didn't value my own skills and my own given ability, God-given abilities to really help other people. And it was in that moment that I felt this shift, right? Which was to go in a different direction completely, like really start to become, the person that I was created to be all along. And so I took a job in education because that's where one of my degrees was. But I had to have surgery on my shoulder after all that. So in January of 2014, I had surgery on my shoulder, and it was a very long and hard recovery process, something that I still deal with day to day. And I wound up resigning from a full-time position because during the rehabilitation of it, I thought to myself, how am I ever going to go back and work under somebody else's guidelines, restrictions, timelines? My body and my life had to change so that I could take care of myself. And that is when I first became an entrepreneur.
It's interesting how the journeys that bring us to this entrepreneurial actually delight. I really love it right now, but like yourself, things that brought you here, they are nothing to do with wanting to make money or wanting to be an entrepreneur or anything. And in fact, it's interesting, but you sort of like being stuck in a context that's wrong for you will affect your self-esteem. And so many times while you have this aha moment or realization that something gotta change, and then it brings you into this starting your own business and actually taking full control, because when you're running a business, you have to take full control over your life, isn't it?
Yes, you do. And you have to be disciplined and you have to be driven and self-directed, right? Because there's no one saying to you, by the way, you're going to get fired if you don't do X, Y, Z, right? So it's very easy to get pulled away or get distracted or to want to do something different, and so for me, it was a whole new shift. It was a whole new way of living and of being and really of existing in the world, right? I had to create new patterns, create new belief systems, right? For the first time ever, I was responsible for my own income, and I wasn't waiting for somebody to write me a check every week or every 2 weeks or whatever it was. And it was scary at first. It was really scary.
It's a huge shift in mentality, isn't it? When you go from employee mentality to an entrepreneur mentality, you do for a while still sort of expect this consistency with payments, and then you're sort of hit on the head like, oh no, I have to do something,
Right.
But I think it's very empowering.
It is. It's very, very empowering. And I look back on it and I think to myself, because again, I mean, I am someone who's always been really driven and wants to do the best job at everything I do and wants to do too much too fast, right? Which is, I think, a quality of a lot of entrepreneurs. Like we're go-getters, right? We want to accomplish, and then we just want to go on to the next thing and accomplish, right? And I do think back and I think, like, what have I really done in the last 3.5 years that I've been doing this? And then at the same time, I'm like, wow, like I've really done a lot, given that I had no experience in business, right? None of my degrees were in business. They were all in the humanities, sociology, education, psychology, right? So yeah, I mean, I had to essentially teach myself, throw myself into this online entrepreneurship, learn from the best, right? And then kind of start flapping my wings and trying to fly on my own. And it was scary, but it's definitely been worth it.
Amazing. And now that all this brought you to establishing yourself as a confidence coach, because obviously you went through rebuilding your confidence yourself. And then, that when you start your business, that's an extra level of confidence you need to achieve. It's not even just to decide. But I have a question for you. And this is something that I've seen from, how you describe what you do. There is a word that you use, vibrant. So what is vibrant online visibility? I'd love to know.
Yeah, that's so cool that you picked up on that. Not a lot of people have picked up on that and actually asked me, but for me, vibrant is showing up as your unique, amazing, charismatic, beautiful self, right? Like if you are rocking pink hair and you love your pink hair, show up like that. You don't have to fit into everybody's cookie cutter model of what it looks like to be a professional. And I think that's where, at least in the coaching that I've done with other women who are trans, they're sort of in that transformation where they're coming away from corporate, where everything is very much uniform, everyone dresses the same, looks the same, you don't really veer off, and really express your personality, right? You don't have a lot of creative freedom when you work for other people, depending on what you do, of course. And if you're a fashion designer or something, of course, yes, you have creativity or freedom, or maybe a choreographer or something, right? But for the average person who's working in a corporate environment, or even like in a school district or something, you can't just dress however you want. You can't just wear whatever, hair color suits you for the day, or whatever earrings suit you for the day, and I felt like I wanted women to understand that when you become your own boss, it's as if though all those restrictions get lifted, but if you hold on to them mentally, you will still restrict yourself. You'll still use language that doesn't sound authentic, right? I'll never forget when I first started doing this, I would always sign off, peace and blessings, right? That was just my send off. And I remember someone who had just come away from the corporate side, and she meant the best. But she said to me, "Are you afraid you're going to offend anybody by using the word blessings?" And I thought to myself, and I sincerely paused for a moment, and I thought, no, not at all. Like, because the people who are going to relate to that language are going to be the people that I want to serve.
That's right. It all comes down to, this is the biggest mistake, guys. If you're watching it, you just started your journey and you're trying to, talk to everybody and you're afraid that you're going to offend somebody. Screw that. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you need to attract people who will fully connect to you. The rest doesn't matter. Honestly, you're not going to miss out. You're just going to have amazing set of clients, or sell your products to amazing people, and you're going to have really, really good business because you feel great.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And so, even to this day, I'll interchange, peace and abundance, or love and blessings, or love and hugs. And that's my discretion. I get to do that, right? Whereas when I was a teacher, can you imagine if I had ever emailed like a parent or a fellow colleague and was like, love and hugs, Lisa Marie? I mean, it would have been all over the place. I would have probably gotten fired, right? So vibrant for me is just putting it all out there. Your personality, it infuses everything you do as an entrepreneur, and don't hold back on it.
An interesting observation. Some people, when you talk to people and you say, you know what, you can be yourself, especially if they come from a background where it's very corporate, where there's uniform or all these things that they have to conform to, and you say you can be yourself, and they're sort of like, I don't know how to be myself, and they think that it's something that you need to put on, but it's literally just to say yes to yourself and just being what you are, because there's no expectations. I think that it's brilliant these days that video is becoming so popular, and you get a chance to see people just as they are. You know, there is no, it doesn't have to be produced. You don't have to pretend. You're not a presenter. You're just being yourself, and the connection that it creates is unbelievable, you know, and then you're open to the global market as well, so you can connect with I have clients in Chile, I have clients in the USA, I have clients in Scotland, I have clients in Ireland. I'm in Ireland myself, and it's just feels exactly the same as if they were all in the same place.
I agree with you. And again, did I ever foresee that happening, especially when I was in my lowest part of my journey? No, but now I look and I'm like, oh my God, I have clients in Japan, Australia, the UK, Poland, right? And here I am in the US. And it's like, whoa, right? Like you blow your own mind. You're just like, wow. When you really stop to really think about it, it's like, this is incredible. There's no better time than now to start your own or to do your own, even if it's a side thing right now, right? I mean, you can connect to people like that. Like even right now, you're in Ireland, I'm in the US. There's a 5-hour difference, I think, in time.
There's an ocean between us, that's for sure.
Right, but we're still reaching our ideal audiences all over the place.
Absolutely, yeah. It's literally, and for us to connect, it was just one click on each side. Do you know? So this is amazing. And you know what, guys? This is all visibility, and this is where, you know, the visibility. And look, I don't want to go too long about it, but I want to ask you, Lisa, about the visibility part. You know, how much did you at the very start, especially because the very start is the crucial one. That's where you are building your positioning. But how much did you used to post, or did you used to what did you use to be visible at the start? Maybe if you have maybe 3 quick best strategies that worked for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, I created a Facebook fan page. I tell everybody, create a Facebook fan page. You need one if you are a business owner of any kind. Even if you're offline, you still need an online presence. That's number one. Post to that fan page and always share whatever content you put on that fan page outward into your personal profile, other groups, your groups, through Messenger. Maybe you posted in an event. There is no better way than that to grow organic reach. We know we were talking about Facebook page algorithms and all that. And yes, does Facebook want us to pay to play? Yes, they want us to advertise, and there's a time and a place for that. But when you're first starting out, you don't need to hit that boost button, you know, and try to get these fake, you know, interactions. Literally put something on that page. It can be a hello, how's everybody doing today? And that's it. But make sure you share from the fan page outward. And there should always be like a little section underneath that literally just says share. And then it'll open up where you can share to. So it's fan page to personal profile or fan page to group. And I would say post minimally once per day. Yes. That's what I did in the beginning. Yeah. And I was very methodical about it. And this is another tip, if you're really struggling with content, which a lot of women or men in general, we just struggle. We don't know what to say today, or we don't know what to do today. Try to come up with themes for each day, right? So for me personally, Mondays are motivational Monday, right? So everything I post that day, whether it's an image I create, whether it's a Facebook Live, it's motivational, right? And so it all goes under that hashtag. And one other really key, I think, important thing, because a lot of people also get really tripped up with this, if you know how to day block, meaning if you can set off a period of hours, consecutive hours at the beginning of the week or the end of the week, whenever it fits for you on a Sunday, and just sit down and plan out your content for the coming week or even 2 weeks, you can do it bi-weekly, it will save you so much heartache in the long run.
That's brilliant.
Right.
Brilliant. Three on points tips, guys. And this is something that basically, like, how do you become visible? You post, you use I agree with you using your business page and sharing it, because if you don't share, right now there's no organic reach on posts as much at all. And boost button, yes, complete waste of money. Complete waste of money. You'd rather at some stage when you have already validated your offers and everything, organically, hire somebody who knows what they're doing, to be honest, and there'll be a stage where you will want to do that. But it's possible to grow your business organically. I have not been using advertising. Occasionally I use 1 or 2 ads, but it actually is not even I wouldn't even call it in any way a pillar in my business right now. It was all organic, all through sharing, now when you're sharing, guys, also remember, it doesn't mean that you need to spam every group or, you have to really always, read the group rules and see how you can do it, right? But there's a lot of groups have these posts, what is your freebie or what is your replay, or, use those. Have a little calendar. I actually have a calendar of what group has days, where you share your page. I know that not many people see that, but somebody will, right? And then it's still like sending that juice to your business page. When you start advertising, all that juice will really work because you will have the data, right? So it's a long game. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You need to remember that it's not a quick solution. Lisa, I know that you prepared an amazing freebie for our audience today. So what is it and where can they get it?
Yeah, so it's an ebook, it's a guide, and it's literally called 6 Ways to Amplify Your Online Presence. And literally I'm going to walk you through and give you 6 very tangible things that you can start implementing today, and none of them even cost a dime. Right? So I give you the links to all the free apps and the software and the things that I'm doing on a daily basis, which I have been doing, which have helped me to grow my business organically as well. So you can grab that by simply going to I shortened the whole URL, so it's a bit.ly link, right? So it's http:// bit.ly / and it's all capital letters, WAYOV, right? So it's ways, it comes out as WAYOV, right? WAYOV, right? And so that is it for the 6 ways to amplify your online presence.
Perfect. Guys, if you're watching this on Facebook, we have that link in the description. If you're watching it anywhere else, you just got a perfect, couldn't be better, clearer way of getting that freebie, that guide. So definitely do it. I've actually checked it out. It's really awesome. I was saying to myself, why did I not write that before? So it was really, really good. Lisa Marie, thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed getting to know you, and now our audience have this wonderful gift as well, which is even better. Yay. Guys, I hope you took away some things, because I think that Lisa touched up on the most important things. If your context is wrong, if you're in a bad job, even sometimes if you're in the wrong business or you're doing something that's not working out, try and see, that will bring you down. But the confidence thing, if you can build it back up, start changing things.
Yeah. You can definitely build it back up. Trust me. Right. I tell people there was a time I was afraid of my own shadow. And I mean that, right? Like, I was so jumpy. I was scared. Like, I was like this wounded little puppy, I couldn't find my way out. But here I am today. And so I'm a living testimony that you can find your way out as well. Yes,
it's not a natural. Not everyone is born with it. And in fact, a lot of people are born with it, and then they can be hit by life on the head, and that's just can go again. So it's all about constantly remembering this and embracing yourself. Be vibrant you. Yes, be vibrant you in your online visibility, and be consistent, and use the tips that Lisa Marie shared with us to help you be consistent and really rock it in the online world and get all the clients you need. So thank you so much for watching this. I will be back tomorrow with another amazing guest, and I hope that you will join me then. Thanks, Lisa Marie. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And bye-bye.
Bye.